Hello everyone, very good morning and warm welcome to Sunday Stock Storm episode number 14. I'm a storm host Shanandu Das. I'm a multi-asset trading and investment specialist. I'm holding this storm to share from my bag of tricks, which is important topics related to the stock market. So the storm is divided into three parts. Those who regularly attend already know this. First part, we take a discussion on the current market condition, Indian market. And in the second phase, we discuss the topic related to the stock market, tips and tricks. And in the final phase, I take queries from you on individual stocks. Generally, for this storm, we either use the line chart or the rainbow system for the analysis. However, in this class, we are going to discuss a bit about candlesticks. So once again, very warm welcome to all of you and those who will be watching the recording later via the YouTube. The recording likely to remain free for 2 days. After that, it will move into the members only section under YouTube. If you are looking to join the future storm, you will always find the link in my website by going under offerings Sunday stock storm, and the link will be there to join the session. You can also take a look at the ongoing or the upcoming events from directly from the home page by going here. These are the possible upcoming events that are scheduled. Some of them are free. You are free to join those sessions. So let me now directly go to our discussion, that is about the Indian market. Just a moment, my net connection is suggesting that I should be in a different net, higher speed network I'm going into. Yes, I think all is good. We are connected. So let me start today's discussion. The most important thing to in the stock market or in trading is to understand the risk. Though I'm in those belief that risk cannot be fully measured, but we still try to measure the risk as much as possible. So I first take a look at the overall market risk by going into my risk master, and we go apply it in the weekly chart. From the line chart, as discussed in the previous storm, the Nifty is, even if not in a bearish trend, it is at least not in the bullish trend. In the best case, it is currently more in the neutral zone. The readings have not changed much from the last time. Similar reading ही दिख रहे हैं. The first meter shows the pressure on equity as an asset class, which is much safe. So naturally, equities are going up across the world, but just not in India. One of the top performer this time has been Hang Seng, Kospi, Russian index, German index, and German stocks, Singapore stocks. But unfortunately, so far, our Sensex has returned little more than 2% year to date. So yes, equity opportunities are happening, just not happening right now in India. Now, after the weekly chart is measured, I directly go to the daily chart where we can see our Dow structure formation. This is improvement. The risk meter is still red, but not as red as previously. On the other hand, we can see some risk going up on overall the equity market. And of course, we are in a recessionary cycle that we should keep cautious of. Usually, recessionary cycle, the sell-offs are heavy and long term. After the daily chart, I take a look at the 125 minutes chart and take a look at the risk. It is much safer now compared to the previous reading in Nifty. So yes, we should expect some consolidation. or possibly some up move in the upcoming days towards the 25,000 to 25,100 area. That we'll know more when we apply the asset master. So overall risk has turned little safer compared to the previous reading, and Nifty has started consolidating. So downside pressure, I will say, has little bit of ebbed or moved from now. After the risk master is done, I will once again go back to the weekly chart, and this time I will hide the line chart and I will apply the asset master. Asset master weekly chart, it is clear what we have seen. It is Nifty is range bound. Currently, if we go for strategies like non-directional strategies, setup is not correct. Let me change the setup to index. Yes, now it's better. Now, as Nifty is range bound, more range bound strategies like strangle selling, those have been profitable. If someone is looking for strangle selling a bit of long term, which I am doing, I am looking for level like 25,500 and 700 on the upside, and on the lower side I am preferring to keep below the 23,500 area, which is around this support level. इस सपोर्ट लेवल के नीचे रहना मेरे प्रेफरेंस. So overall we can say Nifty is more in a range bound. Buy trade win probability जो ऊपर का मीटर से दिखा रहा है, buy trade win probability, let me make the upper meter little bigger for you now. Buy trade win probability is around 36, sell trade 32, and consolidation is around 43, almost a perfectly neutral market in the weekly chart. So I'm expecting neither heavy sell-off nor heavy upside move. Let's come to the daily chart. And in the daily chart, yes, Nifty has started its consolidation. We can see the comeback. Background color turned yellow basically means my short trend is neutral. So upper side, I see strong resistance from around 24,800 to 25,100 area. There are tons of resistance out there. Whereas if we see another round of sell-off that can be triggered by Donald Trump's comments or others, the downside is open much bigger. But for now, Nifty is consolidating in the daily chart. So once again, direction neutral strategies are likely to be more successful in the current market condition. Now we take a look at the 125 minutes chart, which is suitable for derivative and more in the short term trading. I could see the base formation. This is short term, has been more directional. So I were able to sell some bull put spread as well. Nifty is now taking a correction as hinted by this red caps, and it is correcting at an important level where we were expecting it to correct near my empty line. And now next week could be once again a selling pressure as buyers are clearly suffering. My candle becoming smaller basically means bulls are losing their strength. यहाँ पे candle was much bigger and green means bulls were much more stronger. Currently bulls are still strong but not as strong as previously. So I'll not be very surprised to next week see once again selling pressure, because President Putin and President Trump could not agree to any kind of resolution. That means even though Trump is saying that no further tariff on India is required at least for 2-3 weeks, but the tariff threat can once again come back if Russia and US and Ukraine they fail to reach a trade agreement. So if the next week starting with the sell-off, I'll not be very surprised. But in the later part of the week, we once again see the bulls could be coming back and testing the 650 level. Once it has broken the 650 level, I expect it to test out the 24,800 level in the short term. So there are a lot of opportunities happening, just not directly in the stock market, means playing with the stocks, but options ke saath we are getting the opportunities in terms of selling, like bull put spread, and also some bear call spread जो हम लोग बेच रहे थे when Nifty was bearish. Currently, I am no longer selling the bear call. I am holding some of the bear call which already previously sold, and I'm not expecting those levels to come up like 25,100. I'm there in 21st of August का जो expiry, and I'm not expecting the market to immediately challenge the 25,100 level. So even though market has turned bullish, I've started with some bull put spread selling, like put selling. I'm not very eager to square off the calls, which I feel much safer still. Now, after I've taken a detailed look at Nifty, we will go to the long-term charts once again and look at the Nifty 500, which is the best for stocks. Stocks के लिए Nifty 50 को देखना is not a great. Nifty 500 is our chart to look at to understand the overall stock market. Overall stock market ka scenario is same like Nifty, it is more consolidating. So currently is not a time to jump for breakout trades. More, if I am getting the trade, I will look for buy support opportunity from a strong base, having relatively low risk of stop loss, not just stop loss, low risk we have to put where probability of hitting that stop is much lower. So Nifty 500 is in consolidation. Let's look at the daily chart for a quick round of analysis. ये हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट किए थे लास्ट टाइम दैट निफ्टी 500 का सपोर्ट आ रहा है एंड यहां से करेक्शन रिमेन्स वेरी मच नेचुरल, बट आई एम नॉट टर्निंग हेवीली बुलिश. There is a possibility by the end near the September month, means end of August, we can start seeing another round of sell-off. That's a possibility, not a guarantee. On the upside, strong resistance remain in Nifty 500 around 23,200 area, and strong support is around 22,500 area. Once this 500 area is broken, you should expect heavy sell-off in the stocks as well as in the index. Now once again get back to the weekly chart and we'll look at the small cap. Similar scenario, range bound, almost directionless in terms of probability. Let's look at the daily chart. Similar, जहां से हम लोग expect कर रहे थे कि there could be a correction is happening. These are called natural correction. Natural correction does not mean that the trend has changed. So the trend is still bearish significantly in the small cap. So once again, जो भी segment, whichever segment we are looking for, we can see the comeback, but the comeback is not strong enough to aggressively jump into stocks. While stocks are not giving you profit, what you can do is, if you know the option games, you can try to earn money from the options. But first, if you apply the safety approach rather than aggressive approach to generate higher return. In addition to that, you can go to interest income trades like going into bonds. Like Nifty has, or Sensex, this year has given around, or last 1 year it has given around 1, 2 or 0% ke close depending on which index we are looking at. But whereas bond market, if chosen the instrument correctly, has given us 10% plus, close to 11% return in the last 1 year. So we have to use different other type of instruments rather than Indian stocks, either foreign stocks, option strategies, or the bond to generate return in this market condition. Forcing into stocks largely will end up with higher brokerage, and many of your trades will turn out to be failure. As a trader, it is important that we ride the bull market and remain passive when the bear market is there. So currently, based on the daily chart, we are still part of the bear market. Under the bear market, we are witnessing a bit of correction. We'll once again go back to the Nifty chart, 125 minutes chart, and I will see what is the option master is suggesting. It is suggesting the bull put spread, the things that we have done, and small scale bull call spread, little aggressive. In addition to that, current time are good for short iron condor trade as well as short strangle trade, which are non-directional strategies in the option. So that's about the first half of our discussion, where we look at the current market condition. Now in the second part, we are going to discuss important topics related to the stock market, which I plan to cover 52 episodes covering line chart trips, tricks, chart patterns, candlestick trip tricks, candlestick patterns, as well as some of the touch upon the fundamentals, some of the key fundamental tricks. I don't think fundamental tricks videos will be available in the YouTube for viewing for public. So it will be better for the fundamental topic that you try to attend them in the live, which is free. So this is one, and once again from my bag of tricks. This is last time we discussed two tips about long-term investment strategy. There is a confusion which you should very well clear up regarding the candlesticks. Candlesticks are not for long-term trading and investing. They are more effective in the short-term trading and investing. Some of the candle pattern, even if you look at the daily chart, their impact और जो return वो provide करते हैं, say hammer, which is a reversal pattern, it is for much shorter period compared to what you have learned in my common pattern and uncommon profit with classical chart patterns. Classical chart patterns are more long-term investing, whereas candlesticks are for the short term. Before we deep down go into the tricks, let me discuss what is a candle. This is how a candle looks. If the candle is usually green, that means the lower candle का part में एक portion is the body, which is the green color, and in this case, this is the red color. In addition to that, as you can see upper here, it is called wick or shadow or spike. This is the lower wick, lower shadow or lower spike. The candle body basically shows the open and the close, and these spike basically shows the high of the day or the period and the low of the period. If the closing is higher than the open, then the candle body is colored as green. If the opening is higher than the closing is lower than the opening, then the candle body is red. So basically, candle is another format to look at very old traditional data of open, high, top of the spike, low, bottom of the spike or wick, and close, OHLC. So candle basically shows the OHLC. Let's go back to the chart once more. Before candlesticks became popular, this was the chart. These are called bar charts. They were more invented in our western side, whereas candlestick was invented in the Asian side. मतलब US, America, UK, before the candlestick became popular, open, high, low, close was shown by this called bar charts. As you can see, bar chart does not look as good as the candlestick, but they give out the same information. Open, this is the high, so let me highlight with the point. Open, lower wick is the low, close, and the upper wick is the high. So candlestick is giving out no new information. It is just a different representation of OHLC. Bar chart is currently has now become almost obsolete compared to the candle. Few people use it still this day. And candlestick became very popular more so after 1990s. बट इस ये जो अभी तक हम लोग एक चीज डिस्कस किए, वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द सेम इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ बार चार्ट OHLC, open, high, low, close, and same information is there in the candle. But you can clearly see that candle looking, the visualization, the appearance makes a major difference even if it is the same information. That means in trading, we have to give importance in this, the vision. How you set up your strategy, how it looks, that also matters psychologically and helpful, which is much easier with my rainbow chart. With its visualization technique, it is much easier to follow and it creates a psychological impact in the brain. So when you are preparing a setup for yourself, give importance to this vision, how your setup is going to look. If you make it looking too complex, it may actually backfire against you. Before I move to the trick and tips part of the day, we will have to pay homage to the great master. And this should put a rest to the theory that any setup over time will lose its value because many people will be following it, which may be true in some case. But if you prepare a setup focusing on the mother concept, like Munehisa Honma did almost 400 years ago, 350 years ago in Japan while trading rice. This person, Munehisa Honma, is credited with creating the candlestick or the father of candlestick charts. And his trading was so good, in today's world it is equivalent to more than $10 billion. And he became such an important figure in Japan, the Edo period mainly, that there were folk songs written about him. I have given a part of the song here. Honma sama ni wa oyobi mo nai ga semete naritaya tono sama ni, which basically means there is only one Honma sama, only one Honma. So you cannot be Honma Sama. It is much easier to be king, that is the Tono Sama. So यहाँ पे बताया जा रहा है, it is being told how great he was, that you cannot be Honma Sama, rather it is easier to be the king, which once again shows how difficult the trading is. Not everyone can become successful. Now, about our not this trick, my bag of tricks with regard to candlesticks, our focus or main philosophy will be risk measurement via the candles, opportunities via the candles, improved timing of entry, enhanced exit, find out reversal points, continuation trade, and of course enhanced entry, which is same as improved timing of entry. So these areas will be the main focus, or it is the main focus in my bag of tricks with the candlesticks. Today we are going to take the tips about something called spike or the shadow. Let's go back once again and understand this part, the kaanta jo dikh raha hai, or wick, shadow, or the spike. They are called spike, wick, or shadow. So basically today's technique about this wick. So why spike or the shadow is a risk as well as it as an opportunity. Spike long, what I mean by spike long, like this, long spike. They are of high chance of risk reversal. The risk of reversal from this high spike is significantly higher. So one question remains, though I don't think the question is correct. Majority are wary about exits, which is not right. You should be more worried about the entry. Entry is where majority of the risk management happens. But if you have been worried about exit, let me tell you, this is an exit, one of the exits, and a beautiful one, especially with regard to stocks. If you see this kind of pattern in the weekly chart, largely because stocks are best in the weekly chart, or even in the daily chart, these are definite consideration for exits. So in your exit bag of tricks, you can write it down that if you get a long spike, say after a very good ride, in majority case, they are good point to exit because the risk of reversal is very high in case of spike long. Exit, these are high probability exits. One of the earlier exits in the weekly chart, if you get a spike like this one, and the spikes can have other usage as well. Like for example, if during an entry, like you can see the stock called Ep.14, which I tried with small position, but as it gave a spike like this, I was ruthless to cut my position. Means timing is not right. When you are getting into stock after you have entered, saw the breakout, but ultimately the candle in the weekly or in the daily given a spike like this, you better move out even if you are in a small loss. Largely you are in a small loss. Let's not make it worse by more further waiting. You should accept, okay, I was wrong to enter, and now it has given spike, it is not ready. And when you are exiting, you want to remain aware of future opportunities, and you want to remain aware of them before this stop is taken out. If you are entering after this spike thinking there is strong supply, there may not be. The big player was there, sold off, big spike, now he has no further position. So it is not fully a right concept, so let's get in after this break. No, we have to see the new entry with the new light. एक अलग तरीके से या फिर से मुझे रीअसेस करना पड़ेगा about the entry. So what we want to do when we have exited a stock like this, whether after a good rally or just immediately after an entry, we want to put an alert at the price level around the middle of the spike, and that could in the future would be a new opportunity. So how long spike can be used? Long spike can be used to understand high chance of reversal. It can be used as a high probability exit when applying in the weekly chart. Is this a new opportunity? No. Largely big spikes offer no new entry opportunities. They are mainly for reversal and high probability exit. On the other hand, there are spike short, like these are the spikes. These spikes are called natural spikes. If you see in a candle a small spike like this, when the stock is going up, there is not much to worry. There would be significant difference in a long spike candle. Very likely there will be no lower wick, मतलब lower में कोई spike और shadow नहीं रहेगा. Whereas other spike may have lower spike as well as the upper spike. There is nothing to fear when you see this kind of spike in the market in the stock. You are only worried about the big spike compared to the candle body. Let's discuss more on the short spike. Short spike, these are in candle terms called dojis. I will cover doji in later storm, but it may not be doji. What is the doji? There is spike on the both side, but always it may not be true. There may not be any lower spike, only small upper spike. So you can see a different variation of these in the market. And these are quite a good short-term opportunities. Why short-term? Because candles are about short-term. They are not about the long-term. But even in the short-term, they provide good opportunity. When you see a clustered candle of small spike, that can be upper or upper-lower both. But usually you want it to be relatively small and clustered. 2, 3, 4 candle एक साथ, minimum 2. Usually we get 3. And once we get a clustered zone like this, that basically means opportunity in future. So how will you take opportunity of this? You will simply draw a line or alert above the highest spike, small one. In big spike, we are putting the alert at the half middle of the spike. But in case of short one or in case of doji like this, we want to put on the highest one up on the spike. And when we get a closing, not a breakout, a closing above this highest spike, those are your entry points, and stop loss will be the lowest portion of the body, not the spike. Lowest portion of the body will be your stop loss, and you enter only after a closing above the highest spike. Sometimes we get two candles and then a breakout, but usually the best one are if we get a bit of three and more. So short spikes are opportunities, they are not exit or reversal, whereas long spike are risk reversal and exit opportunities. There is another concept called spike percentage. Spike percentage is basically the length of the spike compared to the size of the body. It is called spike percentage. In spike percentage, 25 is a good number. If you are entering a candle for entry into a stock, you want to generally make sure that the spike percentage is not more than 25. Means the size of the spike is only 25% or 1/4 of the body. Those can be considered as better entries and the spikes can be ignored. But longer the spike compared to the body, the success chance becomes smaller. That means this concept can be applied also when riding a stock. How? We are using this long spike as exits. Similarly, the spike percentage also can be used as an exit. If the spike percentage number is crossing above 35 and definitely above 40%, it is time the stock is becoming too exhausted and the risk has gone up for it to consolidate in a zone. So you want to keep a check on the spike percentage to know in the weekly chart, as stocks are for weekly, in the weekly chart to see if the current going is good or not. Say two stocks, both are going up. If one is giving out a spike percentage of 37 and another is given spike percentage of 19, I want to remain in the 19% spike percentage rather than the 37% spike percentage. We are indifferent as long as the spike percentage is below the 25 level. Means 25% say come, we are fine with that. But lower the spike percentage, remember the stronger is the stock. Very likely we are talking about stocks. Commodities are different, they don't give you spike like stocks. Stock का एक feature ही है shake off करना and to give you spike. So how do you ride? With this concept, you can ride a stock without any indicator. Just you have to keep note at the spike percentage after you have made a good entry. As long as the spike percentage is below 25%, you can happily ride that stock. And the spike percentage does not go up. Let me share this triptych as well. The spike percentage does not go up very quickly unless it is earning or some other news. Means stocks will gradually tell you that it is becoming exhausted. First it will be 5% spike, then it will be 10, 12, 15 and it will continue to grow the spike percent. And spike percent will tell you whether a stock bulls are becoming exhausted or not. So this is my bag of trick from the candlesticks. I hope you have enjoyed this discussion and learned some new concept regarding it. Thank you so much for listening to this second part of our discussion on the storm. Now I'm ready to take any stock related queries if you might have. Let me go back once again to the charts. So we are going to use largely the line charts or the rainbow setup for this analysis, and for stocks largely we are going to use the weekly chart for the analysis. Let me take your query one by one. Manvi ji ka question, MCX. MCX I have explained many a time, Manvi ji. MCX is a great stock. Great stock means it is going to remain for the next 15 years because it's an exchange. You cannot treat every stock same like Kamal sir ki BSE. These are stocks which are going to remain for a very long time. आपको कैटेगराइज करना चाहिए for stocks which group, different group. Say you can apply my long-term investment strips that I showed you, how much a stock gone up in the previous year. Similar, you create a separate list for these kind of stocks which are immune to majority of the happenings. Means whether Trump is adding pressure on us has little effect on MCX. But MCX is vulnerable to psychology. People are going to remain people. That means when bad news comes, if say sanction aya on Reliance or crude oil, they will sell everything such as MCX. And that is beautiful because that will give us opportunity. And you generally want to get into stocks like MCX as low as possible. So generally I prefer monthly chart for this, but I'll take a look at the weekly chart which is for stocks. And we can clearly see what you have, a downside Dow structure. It is going up, and if you are moving with the going up, you are basically working on the FOMO part. Aapka fear of missing out psychology is working here, but in the weekly chart, it is clearly in a downside mode. So let us have at least a Dow structure to once again go long on MCX. And if you think that tab tak aur badh jayega, it will go up by that time, it is part of psychology question. So let me, before I move in from MCX, let's look at via our setup, cash stocks weekly. And even though this is going up, our chart is clearly telling us it is not ready or the moment is not right. I don't have the short-term momentum with me, which is my requirement to enter into a stock. And this white sign or white cross, it gives me warning that something is not right. So even though MCX staged a comeback, I will consider it is still not the right time to get into this stock. If I cannot tolerate this, because these are real life emotions, part of trading, what you have to do is the position management. First try a smaller quantity, and then when you get a confirmation with the Dow or with the rainbow, then you add further quantity on it. How we come to know the spike percentage? Spike percentage you will have to calculate. Those who have the rainbow setup will add the spike percentage soon for you. Like this is the spike and this is the body. Ye raha. Ye portion is the spike and this portion is the body. So you can take this spike divided by the body. You can find the spike percentage. Spike percentage is the height of the spike divided by the height of the body. Let's look at BSE Limited, और इतना वर्क जो अब मैं बता रहा हूं कमल जी, you will be able to do it because if you don't hurry, you can do it. There is only 20 stocks you can invest at one point in time, and there are thousands of stocks. So work more and less trading. So if you follow this model, you will find time to follow the few stocks that you have invested. It is clear whether line chart Dow I don't have. A beautiful Dow nahi hai. And in the rainbow, it is clearly warning me not to go into BSE. So I'll not go into BSE right now as per my chart. Garden reach, let's look at the garden reach and let me reduce the size of the probability meter. Garden reach, let me see who asked this question. Monica ji, I'm not remember. I think you are from the rainbow batch. If yes, you should not choose stocks like this. You already know that this stock is not good. And when it's not good, there is no hope. Hope करने की जगह नहीं. There are a lot of great opportunities happening, not just India, but across the globe. MSI, Motorola Solutions. What I taught you, inverted head and shoulder, and then the beautiful break. So there is immense number of opportunities, just don't remain when the stock has turned bad. There is no, I'm not saying the stock fundamentally bad, but fundamentally is not everything. Fundamental plus timing. Ye rainbow is about the timing too. And it is not ready our GRAC. Centum. Centum Electronics. I will review it. I think I have covered this for majority of you as well as जो rainbow batch students नहीं है, that these signals though is important, ये मैं सिखाया था regarding events. Few events you'll have to take note of, like earnings, dividends, and split, and some other ones which I mentioned in the rainbow class last time. And dividends के साथ, dividends के within 3 weeks जो buy signal आते हैं, usually they turn out to be quite good. तो सेंटम में अब क्या करना होगा? If we have entered, this is our stop, and let's see if we can break 2500 psychology level. So far Centum seems okay to try out, but once 2500 is broken, then only we will see the real movement. But if it is starting to fail, be ruthless to exit, because if it fails, Centum can come down to the 2000 level to once again try and make the base. Even if you don't too much of money, you are losing on the opportunity cost. So Centum is good, but if it's not sustaining, we will move out of Centum. Muthoot Finance, let's see Muthoot Finance. Muthoot Finance has given a lot of gold loan, and so far after a consolidation period, once again it is trying to go back. The speed is little lower. I'll have to check if there is any spike. No spike majorly. Once again it has come back into strength after 2 weeks of correction. This was highlighted in the rainbow class. If a stock is strong, within 3 red caps the buying will come. So buying has once again come up in Muthoot Finance, and if this low is not broken, that is 2590, we can expect it to test out the 3000 psychology level. Raymond Realty. I generally, not related to rainbow or the line chart, generally I will be little worried about the realty sector. I think, oh no, this is an IPO stock. Raymond Realty, no, this is an IPO stock. IPO stock, we don't deal with this. This is a clearly falling, we can't invest right now. ये IPO के लिए मैंने last time warning दिया था. I think IPOs overhyped हो रहे हैं. बहुत सारे वेंचर कैपिटल, दोज हु एंजल इन्वेस्टर जो स्टार्टअप में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, They invested into a lot of companies in India between 2017 to 2020 and little after that also. एंड मुझे ये लगता है रिसेंट जो आईपीओ लॉन्च हो रहा है एक के बाद एक, दोज आर मोर इमोशनल एंड दीज वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट बेसिकली अनलोड कर रहे हैं स्टॉक्स को एंड दे आर टेकिंग देयर मनी आउट. द वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट और द स्टार्टअप इन्वेस्टर, एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स, they can get out of a stock if the IPO is launched. So in many of the IPO, there may not be quality in the deep underlying. So it does not look good. Raymond Realty at is, I'll not invest right now. Let's look at it. Daily chart, agar kuch bhi अच्छा, no, not much to cheer for. कुछ cheer करने लायक है नहीं in the Raymond Realty. If you remain in this stock like this, you can see what happened to your wealth. You cannot remain hopeful. Chalo hope karte hain it will go up. So this is a very bad pick. Tata Tech and IDFC, can I more? NSDL, NSDL is a good one, like our BSE MCX, कोई doubt नहीं. CDSL, ऐसे stock you want to buy very cheap, जितना cheap हो सके. So NSDL just launch हुआ. So ये देखिए फॉर्ट्स क्या हुआ, सेंटिमेंट. सुपर स्टॉक बढ़ा, अगर सुपर स्टॉक क्यों गिर रहा है फिर? सुपर स्टॉक तो गिरना नहीं चाहिए था. That's about timing. Big players offloading. This is, you can take this two way, as a risk, or those who did not invest as an opportunity. Because NSDL I wanted drop even lower, say come down to 500, 400, anything. Because this stock is just like BSE, MCX, CDSL is going to remain forever. I want to buy them cheap. So what I will do, simple, rainbow chart, price action bullish. If you don't have the rainbow chart, wait for a Dow structure in the weekly chart. It will be still good. काफी बढ़िया रहे. But currently NSDL further, no further. If you have gone IPO, that is different. But now wait कीजिए और गिरने दीजिए. I want it below the IPO level. जब IPO level के नीचे जाएगा क्या होगा? People will panic and they will sell more, and that will be my opportunity. So wait for the right time in the NSDL to invest further. Let's look at the Tata Tech. ऐसे आईपीओ में अगर आप इन्वेस्टेड हो, आपको पूछना चाहिए व्हाई डिड यू इन्वेस्ट, क्यों आप इन्वेस्ट किए थे. जो रेमोंड जैसे स्टॉक आपके एंट्री पॉइंट से, आईपीओ से अगर 50% डाउन है एंड यू आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन बाइंग मोर, यू शुड नॉट हैव होल्ड दैट स्टॉक, क्योंकि आपको फंडामेंटल कॉन्विक्शन नहीं है टुवर्ड्स रेमोंड रियलिटी. सेम लाइक टाटा टेक, सॉरी वी आर इन द डेली चार्ट, थोड़ा मिस्टेक हो गया. नाउ इन द वीकली, नो, राइट नाउ इज नॉट अ ग्रेट टाइम. आपका अगर लॉस भी नहीं हुआ ज्यादा, यू विल रिमेन स्टक फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम, और आप इम्पेशेंट हो जाओगे एक टाइम के बाद, एंड यू विल एग्जिट एंड ट्राई टू फाइंड न्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज, एंड मे बी वहां से टाटा टेक विल गो अप. But currently it is not in a good phase, so I'll not be the one to invest into Tata Tech. Rohit ji ka question, view on Medanta looking at current rainbow status for weekly, should we wait for again Dow? Rainbow use कर रहे हैं तो Dow का जरूरत नहीं, rainbow is faster than the Dow. So if you are using Dow, मैं दिखा रहा हूं with line chart because people does not know the rainbow. That's why rainbow के साथ you don't need any other chart. Medanta, Global Health. Now your question is, you have invested, should I invest more in this stock? If you have followed my class, then you know when the candle is such big, we consider the max stop to do our calculations. But when the candle is that big, we have to go fine tuning. फाइन ट्यूनिंग करते हैं एक एक notch lower time frame. So if you have confidence in the Medanta, in the weekly chart, you are entered around the base. For re-entry, you want to wait for a signal in the daily chart in terms of at least price action bullish. Currently, there is no entry in the Medanta. और वो देखिएगा साइकोलॉजी लेवल के पास 1500 के पास इट इज गोइंग टू स्ट्रगल. सो मेदांता ये जो करेक्शन हो रहा है इट इज पार्ट ऑफ नेचुरल करेक्शन but no new entry at this point. You can hold the stock looking at the weekly chart. View on ethos. कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं voice not clear. I hope I am audible to all of you. Okay, thank you for confirming. So let's first look at the emphasis. IT sector not going well. Emphasis tried to break, is not working out. अगर एंट्री लिए भी थे, currently it is forming a base. बहुत ज्यादा लॉस आई एम नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग, क्योंकि कई सारे ब्यूटीफुल सपोर्ट है यहां. बट वी हैव टू वेट फॉर द स्टॉक टू बिकम स्ट्रॉन्ग टू मेक मनी. करंटली एम्फेसिस इज नॉट स्ट्रॉन्ग, एक रेंज में जा रहा है एम्फेसिस. सो आई विल पुट माई सिंपल अलर्ट प्राइस एक्शन बुलिश and I will be done in this stock. It needs to have the strength and the speed to go up. It does not have the requirement. IMPINJ. IMPINJ is a Nasdaq stock. PI. Let's look at the PI. It is rising. ब्रेकआउट का स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉसिबिलिटी है फॉर अ कैंडिडेट. मैं देखना चाहूंगा लाइन चार्ट में कोई पैटर्न. नथिंग सिग्निफिकेंट, कोई पैटर्न नहीं है. आपको मालूम होना चाहिए वेयर द स्टॉक इज टारगेटिंग. इफ यू आर अ रेनबो यूजर, you know the stock is targeting the path of least resistance, and if it can make it through, the stock will be reaching up to 228. So it depends where it is breaking the green candle. If it breaks from a slanting zone, yahan se agar break ho raha hai, which is possibility, then we can expect the stock to move towards 228 area with a stopover around psychology level $200. Neogen Fintech. Neogen Fintech. आईपीओ से थोड़ा बच के रहिए दिस टाइम. आई थिंक आईपीओ में थोड़ा बेसिकली बिग प्लेयर्स, स्मार्ट प्लेयर्स आर मूविंग आउट काइंड ऑफ आईपीओ से हो रहा है एट दिस पॉइंट. एंड बिकॉज आईपीओज आर करंटली द ओनली गेम, ओवर सब्सक्राइब हो रहा है एंड पीपल आर लुकिंग फॉर न्यू स्टॉक, चीप स्टॉक, सम बिग मूव. आईपीओ बहुत पॉपुलर. But be very careful when you are going into direct IPO buying. Make sure you know about the company. You are sure that you want to invest in them. Just don't think that they will go a big jump premium and you will book out. Rather उससे बेहतर है वेट कीजिए. NSDL जैसा स्टॉक इंतजार कीजिए, let it drop, give you a buy signal, either rainbow or a Dow structure. You will be very good to go with them. So Neogen, after a correction, it is coming back. If it can break via the slanting zone, it will reach out to the $80. Problem with Neogen is there are tons of resistance, a small one and a very strong one. So Neogen तो बढ़ ही सकता है, but it can be staggered, मतलब बड़ा correction, again rise, a correction, but overall Neogen looks so far so good. Yes, looks like it is fine. Aurangabad Distillery and ICICI. ICICI is no longer good. ICICI Bank, I hope you mean that. वो अच्छा नहीं अब banks. ये मेरे banks का जो YouTube video आप highlighted this. ICICI, HDFC जो phase में चला गया, HDFC Bank, they are not falling big. और मैं आईसीआई से अगर फॉल भी होता है, आई विल नॉट एक्सपेक्ट आईसीआई टू मूव बिलो 1300 के नीचे एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर। बट आईसीआईसीआई एज वेल एज एचडीएफसी बैंक दोनों गुड बैंक्स हैं, नो डाउट। बट करंटली वो जो फेज में है, उस फेज को बोलते हैं बकिंग बुल। बकिंग बुल एक ऐसा फेज है या ऐसा स्टॉक का फीचर, इफ यू नो बकिंग बुल इज लाइक बुल राइड, वो आपके पीठ से आपको कोशिश करेगा धकेल देने का विद द स्टॉप लॉस हिट। तो सिमिलर स्ट्रक्चर इज गोइंग ऑन विद एचडीएफसी बैंक, आईसीआईसीआई बैंक। दे हैव नॉट टर्न फुल्ली बैड, बट वो लोग बहुत ही स्मॉल जिगजैग के साथ ऊपर जा रहे हैं। सो लिटिल बिट केयरफुल होना चाहिए व्हाइल यू आर गोइंग इनटू दिस। मतलब क्वांटिटी के हिसाब से सम क्वांटिटी कीजिए एंड उसके बाद देखिए व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन। क्या एचडीएफसी बैंक 2000 ब्रेक करेगा? मे बी आफ्टर दैट विल गेट अ राइट। So currently both the stock HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank is not in a good phase। और जब मार्केट, कमलेश जी, इन अ बियर मार्केट फेज में हो लाइक राइट नाउ, it is not too great idea to jump into stocks। केयरफुली देख के चुन चुन के स्टॉक लेना चाहिए। नेक्स्ट इज PNDGILTZ। PNDGILTZ ऐसा स्टॉक मुझे नहीं मिल रहा है। Maybe something wrong with the ticker, not sure what could be the issue। Let's check Aurangabad Distillery or this। No Kamlesh ji, you don't want to remain a stock like दिख ही रहा है लाल हो गया चारों तरफ, आप और पैसा खोएंगे। और अभी तक सच बोलूं तो बियर मार्केट चालू भी नहीं। जो लोग 2011 से अपना ट्रेडिंग जर्नी चालू किए हैं, the truth is you have never seen a true bear market, which was last time 2008-9 2000 COVID was not major bear market। So when the bear market comes, you have to be very careful with the stocks, नहीं तो आप अंडर परफॉर्म करेंगे। आप इस स्टॉक में ना जाके, अगर इफ यू हैव गॉन इनटू द बॉन्ड्स दैट आई सजेस्टेड इन द क्लास, आप आउट परफॉर्म करें। bear market is a great opportunity if you don't remain invested। You can outperform, you can buy stocks cheaper when the sell off is finally over। हम लोग स्मॉल कैप देखे, मिड कैप देखे, डेली nowhere there is a significantly strong buying signal। 125 is not for stock understood, it's for derivative। So no, not really a great stock। ऐसे स्टॉक में इन्वेस्टेड रहना is same like losing more money। EIL is falling due to bad results। या रिजल्ट्स के ऊपर ध्यान रखिए, वो भी एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है। EIL, Express Insurance, is it? No, this will not create our pattern। ये ऑलरेडी बुल में होगा। लेट मी शो यू द पैटर्न विद द MCX। दिस डज नॉट हैव द अर्निंग पैटर्न। ये रहा, दिस इज द इवेंट पैटर्न। सो वो पैटर्न उस स्टॉक में है नहीं, EIL। सो आई डोंट थिंक दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ आवर पैटर्न के अंदर आएगा, नहीं आएगा। दिस इज नॉट अ गुड वन विच यू हैव हाईलाइटेड सर, एटलीस्ट नॉट इन दिस फेज। और एक बार आप लॉस में चले गए, बड़ा लॉस, वेरी डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है कि उसको स्क्वायर ऑफ करे ना करे। ये डिसीजन मेकिंग बिकम्स टू डिफिकल्ट। इसीलिए स्टॉक में याद रखिए, नेवर एवर लूज, जो हम लोग हाईलाइट किया अंडर जनरल रिस्क मैनेजमेंट रूल ऑफ दिस संडे स्टॉक टर्म, 8%। 8% के आसपास should be your maximum loss into stocks। Poonawalla, after a correction, it does not have the Dow, but it is coming back strongly। Let's look at via the asset master। Yes, it has came back strongly, made a base V रेनबो के लेवल्स पे बना रहा है, तो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है। अर्निंग्स के बाद ये आ रहा है बाय, एंड यूजुअली दे टर्न आउट टू बी वेरी गुड. जो अर्निंग्स के बाद बाय सिग्नल आता है, लेट्स लुक एट द डेली चार्ट टू कंफर्म. अर्निंग पैटर्न, देन द बाय सिग्नल. वीकली में within 3 weeks the buy signal will come. Those stocks tend to move very fast and quite good. मतलब इस पैटर्न का बेसिकली अंडरलाइंग मतलब है ये, that big players have some add-on information and they are interested in this stock. So पहले थोड़ा let the breakout happen above 464, then let the breakout happen above 500. तो स्टेप बाय स्टेप इंक्रीज करना पूना वाला विल बी अ गुड आइडिया. JSL, जिंदल स्टेनलेस, ये सीरीज गोइंग अप बट इट डज नॉट हैव द स्कोर. जब तक स्कोर नहीं है, और देखिए ब्रेकआउट कहां से हो रहा है. ब्रेकआउट डज नॉट हैपन इन द फुल स्लैंटिंग मोड. ये अभी भी ब्रेकआउट कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ ऑफ द रेनबो टॉप. This is a very strong resistance. Strength and speed is missing. So I will be very cautious, sir. अगर ये स्टॉक स्टार्ट मूव कर लिया below 690, I will definitely try to move, and preferably below 700 जब मूव करेगा. So tight stop के साथ this stock can be tried because it has some pattern. तो ट्राई किया जा सकता है, बट विथ अ टाइट स्टॉप लॉस, क्योंकि रेजिस्टेंस भी बहुत तगड़ा है. इट इज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस. HDFC Life on the other hand has been giving us a good ride. ये रहा HDFC earnings, similar pattern after the earnings. ये रहा earnings, उसके बाद आ रहा है बाई सिग्नल. खराब अर्निंग, ये रहा खराब अर्निंग भी, और उसके बाद बाई सिग्नल. इसीलिए लास्ट टाइम जो मैं सिखाया रेनबो ग्रुप, इफ यू डू व्हाट एवरीबॉडी इज डूइंग विद द अर्निंग्स, you do what everybody is getting, losses and not so great profit. You have to apply the earnings little different. So this is a signal after the earnings. Looks like the stock is coming back into strength, but जैसे speed नहीं है, so I will currently keep it small scale. Let the speed come, strength and speed come back, I will go for higher quantity. Also I look for 800 level breakout. That will be another round of entry point. 800 के ऊपर closing दे रहा है, that is another round of entry point, provided you should remember the stock is having the psycho level of 1000 as resistance. मारुति सुजुकी अभी तक ब्रेकआउट नहीं दिया है, ये प्रिपेयर हो रहा है. मारुति सुजुकी इंडिया, इट इज स्टिल इन द कंसोलिडेशन फेज. मैं भी इंतजार कर रहा हूं. इट हैज द आवर जो चार्ट पैटर्न है, डिविडेंड के बाद बाय सिग्नल. सो मारुति कैन गो अप, बट फंडामेंटली आई एम अ लिटिल वरीड अबाउट मारुति विथ सो मच कंपटीशन नाउ, एंड मारुति हैज गॉन लेस इनटू EV, electric vehicle, compared to others. So fundamentally a little worried about Maruti, but technically the stock is getting ready, same like Mahindra and Mahindra. काफी टाइम से ये ब्रेकआउट लेवल पे है, बट एज द देखिए स्ट्रेंथ और स्पीड नहीं है स्टॉक में, इट इज नॉट गोइंग अप. सो देयर आर पोटेंशियल बोथ मारुति एंड Mahindra. We have to wait for the strength and the speed to reach the optimal level to see the breakouts. KPIL अच्छा है पैटर्न, नॉट बैड. एक अच्छा लेवल से कम बैक आ रहा है. दिस कैन गो स्ट्रॉन्ग. कल्पतरु, इट हैज अ बेस. साथ में केयरफुल रहेगा अबाउट द रेजिस्टेंसेस. सो पहले राउंड, फर्स्ट राउंड ऑफ एंट्री, and as the resistance breaks, more and more quantity can be added. GMDC is from Kamal ji. ठीक है ओवरऑल, बट आई थिंक ये कंसोलिडेट करेगा बिकॉज कैंडल धीरे धीरे छोटा हो रहा है. द स्टॉक इज लूजिंग इट्स स्पीड. ओवरऑल इट इज बेटर देन मेनी, बट लग रहा है इट इज गोइंग फॉर अ कंसोलिडेशन. तो आई विल बी कॉशियस कि अब मुझे ऐसा चाहिए होगा कि स्टॉक को ब्रेकआउट चाहिए. स्टॉक का एक ब्रेकआउट हो अराउंड 430 के बाद. करेंटली देखिएगा व्हाइट क्रॉस इज आउटसाइड, कैंडल बॉडी बिकमिंग स्मॉलर, मतलब धीरे धीरे स्टॉक का स्ट्रेंथ जा रहा है. एंड ये नेचुरल है बिकॉज इट वॉज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस, द माउंटेन टॉप वी कॉल इट. हमारे सेटअप में माउंटेन टॉप इज वन ऑफ द टफेस्ट रेजिस्टेंस. उसके पास कंसोलिडेशन होना एक नेचुरल प्रोसेस. सो एक तो पॉसिबिलिटी यस, द स्टॉक कैन गो अप with new speed. Speed is currently missing but can go up, or it can go for a little range and then break. So ये दोनों possibility के लिए you should remain prepared. STL Tech, Starlight Technologies, this one is strong, very strong. Keep riding. अगर आप राइड कर रहे हैं, काफी लंबा जर्नी बाकी है अभी भी इसी का. I think it will fail to break the 150 level. So 150 to 160 level, you should expect very strong resistance for this Starlight technology. But this stock is so far going very well. Currently weekly chart देख के कोई entry नहीं है stock में. You have to make a new entry into the stock. You have to come down to the daily chart and decide on an entry, which is there last day. But 150 to 160, expect strong resistance. Next is Lal Path Labs. ये बेस बनाने के बाद it is going up. You should expect much bigger ride into this stock. Lal Path Lab has all the requirements to go up, but उसके साथ साथ ये भी mentally prepare हो जाइए. ये जो लेवल है देखिए 3500 के पास आ रहा है, which is a psycho level. So यहाँ पे थोड़ा रुकेगा स्टॉक. You should be mentally very very well prepared. Exide, Fortis and Zota. Exide इंडिया, नो नॉट गुड. ये देखिए अभी भी वहीं पे कंसोलिडेशन, रेड कैंडल, नो नॉट गुड. वेट कीजिए, इंतजार कीजिए, एक अच्छा ब्रेकआउट होने दीजिए अबव द 400 लेवल. देन यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट सम गुड राइड ऑफ 10-15%, बट अभी नहीं. एक्साइड इज नॉट रेडी. Fortis has done relatively well. ये रहा, ब्यूटिफुल राइड, सिग्निफिकेंटली स्ट्रॉन्ग. और देखिए अर्निंग्स डिड नॉट मैटर, खराब अर्निंग्स मैटर किया नहीं. सो एज द स्टॉक इज गोइंग अप, दिस इज द 6th of August, अर्निंग इज ऑल्सो डन. ओवरऑल लुक्स लाइक द स्टॉक इज गोइंग टू गो अप फर्दर. और भी बाकी है फोर्टिस में. एग्जिट कैसे करना है? विद द स्पाइक परसेंटेज, with a big spike. If you have the rainbow, price action neutral should be your first exit. ऐसे स्टॉक को आप डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना चाहते हो, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. प्राइस एक्शन न्यूट्रल होगा अराउंड थर्सडे, एज दिस इज वीकली चार्ट. बाय थर्सडे प्राइस एक्शन इज न्यूट्रल, it is better to exit stock. Otherwise Fortis is a great pick, Yashwant sir, and going very very well. Zota Healthcare is also another one. आप काफी अच्छा स्टॉक चूज किए हैं. It is going so far very well. Keep on riding. Same answer. I don't know anything about option. Today's class is not about can I join option. Yeah, it is free. You can join. अगर आप पहला वर्कशॉप नहीं लिए हैं, which was held in April and I think sometime in July, you can join this workshop. by going into the workshop and registering, and registration के बाद आपको वहां पे एक लिंक मिलेगा टू ज्वाइन द व्हाट्सएप. So you'll have to join the WhatsApp group to get the link of the classes. So this is a free workshop, 2+2. These two classes are dedicated for you. These two classes are optional, which are for the rainbow batch of students. If you want to join, you can join. Otherwise, these two classes are to increase the general level of knowledge in options, and also how we can do some general income strategy with the options. Oh, PNB Glitz it was. PNB Glitz. Guilds. Is it guilds? PNB guild का बात हो रहा है? Not fully sure about this, but anyway, this stock is not going good. Engineers India Limited from Vedang ji. No sir, ये आपको दिख ही रहा है. Rainbow gave us beautiful exit. जब beautiful exit देता है, we don't have hope. Hope की जगह नहीं है सर. Clearly exit दे चुका. We don't want to remain in stock or in phase like this. So maybe Engineers India could be good, maybe. But एक चीज आपको ध्यान रखना चाहिए, it did not fall with the earnings, it started falling before the earning. तो हाँ, आ सकता है बाइंग. अगर बाइंग आया, that will be a very good signal. बट जब तक वो सिग्नल ना आए, we will not prefer. So क्या करना है? रेनबो बाई in the weekly chart. To fine tune rainbow buy in the daily chart, देखिए कितना beautiful Dow structure. This stock is going towards 164. Very likely this stock is heading towards 165 area. So I will expect further big drop from the Engineers India. Can it go up? Yes, anything can happen. कुछ भी हो सकता है. But currently it is not in a good phase, Vedant. PI industry बोल रहे हैं, invested at 3690. PI Industries 3690. Okay, but why didn't you exit? If you are a rainbow student, then there was a rainbow signal, clear signal, there was a double top, Dow structure break. Different ways to look at it. If we get now a good buy signal, that would be good, but currently PI Industries is not in a good phase. Exit aa chuka hai. Timely exit is very important. 3690 is almost the current level jahan pe hai stock, so you are at zero profit. So I will not prefer to jump into this stock. I think much bigger loss awaits it. क्या हो सकता है इसमें? It would go up. This will now act as strong resistance. It goes up and gives another down, means it will be dropping towards 3,300, another 10% decline. एशियन पेंट्स मैं हूं इस स्टॉक में, बट बहुत ज्यादा क्वांटिटी नहीं. क्यों नहीं? सो लेट मी एक्सप्लेन. देयर इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस. There is, I don't have the score, I only have the speed, the rainbow signal, and I have an inverted head and shoulder pattern. So I invested in Asian Paints, but I will be closely monitoring what the stock will do at this level. If it can break, then we'll expect much bigger ride towards 3,000. Otherwise, I'm normally inclined to take profit around 2,700. So I'm also in this stock, Asian Paints, but not too much quantity as core and RS is not there. Apta's value. ये नॉर्मली देखिए ये स्टॉक वैसे ठीक है, मतलब इज गिविंग द डाउ, इट इज क्रिएटिंग अ बेस, ऑल इज गुड, बट ऐसे स्टॉक को बोलते हैं बकिंग बुल स्टॉक. It goes up a little bit, gives out big correction, goes up, gives out big correction. It will basically try to hit your stop loss. Otherwise the stock is fairly okay, except it is in the bucking bull phase, जो बार बार आपको स्टॉप हिट कर सकता है. हीरो मोटो कॉर्प लास्ट टाइम भी हाईलाइट किया था. आई एम इन दिस स्टॉक एज वेल, हीरो मोटो कॉर्प. I'm expecting some correction. Stocks are for weekly chart. याद रखिए अमित सर, stocks are best in the weekly chart. I'll look at the daily as you requested, but if the stock can break via the slanting zone, you know that where the stock is headed. So Hero Moto Corp, I'm interested because it has big potential, but I'm also cautious that the stock can fail at the mountain top, which is the 5000 psychology level. So I am mentally prepared that Hero Motocorp will reach, consolidate, and maybe later give me the another round of break. So currently I am closely watching how the stock is behaving with this line, where it is breaking, which area से ये break हो रहा है, वो मेरा current focus है. And so look at the daily chart. Daily chart में zigzag करते हुए देखिए Dow structure is intact. So कोई भी रीजन इमीडिएटली नहीं है टू गेट आउट ऑफ दिस स्टॉक. So Hero Motocorp, which is a leader in automobile, though two-wheeler sales a bit declined, but it is a very old company, can do comeback later on. So overall Hero is good और इसमें huge potential है. होगा नहीं होगा वो कोई नहीं जानता. But Hero Motocorp has the potential in it to reach out towards the 5700, मतलब यहां से 1000 पॉइंट का रन, it is very much possible, which will be 20%. 10 fact industries, 10 fact industries, it was going strong, correction, and once again coming back to strength. Only thing I don't want in this stock is a spike. So far no spike. Looks like the stock seems to be quite good. 10 fact industries, 10 fact industries. So मेरा stop loss रहेगा into this stock right now will be around at maximum around 4070, and closest will be below the 4400 level. क्योंकि उसके नीचे चला गया इसका मतलब होगा ये 4500 साइकोलॉजी लेवल फेल. GPT Health, last is the GPT Healthcare. Few more time running out. No, this is an IPO stock. It is not ready. IPO stock हम लोग अलग तरीके से देखते हैं. This stock is not ready for IPO investments. It's an IPO stock, GPT Health. Engineers India से आ रहा है. Engineers India already discussed. So let me see what could be the further issue. Engineers India is not declining just on the earnings. It is declining before, and the earnings only increase the pace. So Engineers India, I will expect much bigger decline into it. This unlikely, very very unlikely to form our event pattern. So ऐसे स्टॉक में रहने से आपका पैसा फंसा हुआ रहेगा. It will remain locked for a long time, even if Engineers India make a comeback. So market जब दिखा रहा है either with the Dow or with the Rainbow, don't doubt it. आप पोजीशन पैसा को रीएलोकेट कीजिए. अगर स्टॉक नहीं मिल रहा है then you can go for the bonds. C8 and Ethos, C8 Limited, टायर कंपनी, क्लियरली खराब दिख रहा है. कहां पे आ रहा है वो भी मालूम है, यहीं पे रुकेगा 2860 के आसपास। सो इसका मतलब क्या है, दिस स्टॉक विल नाउ कंसोलिडेट। ये 4000 के आसपास से आ रहा है डाउन। सो बिटवीन दिस 2800 एंड 4000 स्टॉक विल स्पेंड सम टाइम। और मेरा कंसर्न ये दिस स्टॉक में रहेगा इन द अक्टूबर मंथ। अक्टूबर मंथ से पहले इफ इट कैन नॉट रिकवर अगेन, it is going for much bigger decline. Ethos Limited, no, the strength not ready, so I'll not go into Ethos immediately, but बहुत ज्यादा लॉस भी नहीं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, अप मूव भी नहीं, मोर ऑफ अ रेंज बाउंड। देखते हैं क्या होता है इसके साथ फर्दर, बट अभी भी स्टॉक इज नॉट रेडी। एटलीस्ट 2850 के ऊपर जाएगा, देन आई विल बी इंटरेस्टेड। नेक्स्ट इज गोकुल एग्रो। It tried to move higher, gave a correction. Now in the phase, this will stock more likely consolidate. ऐसे failure होता है। Let's look at another failure. कल्याण के जिल। इस स्टॉक में मैं इनिशियल इन्वेस्ट किया था। लुक एट ब्यूटीफुल पैटर्न, पैटर्न ऑल्सो फेल। ये रहा इन्वर्टेड हेड एंड शोल्डर था, बट इट डिड नॉट वर्क आउट। जब तक ये स्ट्रेंथ और स्पीड नहीं है, द स्टॉक विल not fail to go up. So when I'm doubtful again that the Kalyan KGL is not working, I'll not remain in the hope. I exited. And as I exited, देखिए मैंने काफी time and पैसा बचा ली। So Gokul is similar to that. Hero Motocorp, Shraddha ji already discussed. MFSL, Max Financial Services. ये भी काफी अच्छा है। एक्सपेक्टेड सरप्राइज डाउनसाइड, उसके बाद आ रहा है बाई सिग्नल। आई हैव टू गो टू द डेली चार्ट टू कंफर्म दिस। यस, खराब अर्निंग से बाई आ रहा है, तो यूजुअली दे आर गुड। दैट मींस बिग प्लेयर्स आर इंटरेस्टेड। खराब अर्निंग के बाद भी स्टॉक बढ़ रहा है, सो इट हैज सम पोटेंशियल एज पर द इवेंट सिनारियो। इट इज क्रिएटिंग द वी। I will be more confident if the stock goes up above 1620 rupees. Apollo Hospital is going up. Apollo Hospital, ये रहा। अपोलो हम लोग की लिस्ट पे है, बट इसमें not too much quantity investment चाहिए। We don't have the speed and others, so थोड़ा carefully। With the earnings, it has gone up. The stock we like that goes 1 to 2 weeks later in the earnings. Those usually tend out to be very good rather than those which have gone up on the earnings. जो लोग डायरेक्टली अर्निंग्स में बढ़ते हैं, यूजुअली वो बिफोर गोइंग अप मोर, वो थोड़ा करेक्शन में जाते हैं एंड देन गोज अप। सो इफ द मूवमेंट, लेट्स गो बैक डेली चार्ट, अर्निंग्स के साथ आया है द मूवमेंट। ये देखिए, जिस दिन से अर्निंग्स, वहां से करेक्शन हुआ है। एंड अब मैं क्या एक्सपेक्ट करूंगा कि लेट द स्पाइक ब्रेक। वीकली चार्ट में चलते हैं। लेट इट मेक इनटू अ न्यू हाई अबव 7860। दैट विल बी अनदर राउंड ऑफ एंट्री पॉइंट। अगर नहीं हो रहा है, फेल हो रहा है, इट इज लाइकली टू थोड़ा कंसोलिडेशन, उसके बाद ये बढ़ेगा। सो अपोलो हॉस्पिटल कैन इन्वेस्ट बट लिमिटेड क्वांटिटी। Last stock is HCL. Emphasis already done. Loras Lab. I think अब Loras Lab मीन कर रहे हो, Loras Labs. I don't see Loras Labs significantly. Another re-entry point rather in the Loras Labs. Let me check the daily chart. Daily chart does not have the bullish shade, so not so great entry immediately in the Loras Labs. लास्ट स्टॉक आई विल टेक इज द टाइम खत्म हुआ हम लोग का HCL टेक इज द लास्ट स्टॉक HCL टेक्नोलॉजीज नो ये स्टॉक में मैं था जब यहाँ पे वो फेज HCL थोड़ा इन्फी भी ट्राई किया था उस टाइम पे बट द मोमेंट इट शोड नॉट गोइंग आप ये रहा वो धीरे धीरे जैसे ही बैकग्राउंड येलो हो जाता है आई इमीडिएटली एग्जिट एंड जैसे ही एग्जिट किया था थैंकफुली माय मनी इज सेव्ड सो कोशिश कीजिए सर राइट टाइम पे एंट्री करने के लिए एंड रेनबो अगर आप इस्तेमाल करते हैं इट इज ऑफ ग्रेट हेल्प इन डिसाइडिंग दैट So that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining today's work storm. You can regularly visit my website for new updates. You can check out the past videos in my YouTube channel. Currently, today was 14th episode. In addition to that, these are the upcoming events. Workshop option workshop ka registration has started. This workshop is not for those who have already joined the previous workshop or directly from the rainbow batch. For the rainbow batch, recording will be given, but you are not allowed to add into the live session क्योंकि seats are limited. आपके ऑलरेडी सारा पूरे साल तक का चलता है ये सेशन. Every 10 days almost you have a session. So largely you are not eligible to enter into this, and those who have taken the previous workshop also not allowed to enter into this. And next time, we will meet again on 24th of August with the next Sunday stock storm topic. So that's all, friends. Thank you so much once again for staying with me during the Sunday. I hope you have enjoyed the storm. All the best to you from my side to your trading and investing journey. Thank you once again.